Thank you, Faraz, for your question, and good afternoon, everyone. I'm very delighted to be part of this esteemed panel, and much more delighted to see diversity in AFC regime. And coming to your question, Faraz, the change is taking place, and it is taking place in a very rapid environment. So when we talk about transactions happening in 10 seconds, there has to be a lot of controls inbuilt at the back end of the systems. So when we talk about that, we need to, as being in the digital age, we need to invest heavily in innovative technologies. We have discussed about artificial intelligence and machine learning and blockchain. Now it's time to take those systems and test them in an environment, and I believe collaboration within the regulator, providing a regulatory sandbox, can help us, test those mechanisms and see if this is working, and then you can implement that at a larger space. The other thing is that that was rightly pointed out by Nadeem Saab as well. We have to make a shift in the culture as well. So it has to come within the organization, as well as we have to create awareness that trust has to be built within the mass communication. We are at the agenda of building financial inclusion within Pakistan. So we need to have a lot of digital awareness across. OTP, again, we have been using the traditional ways of security, password and everything. It's time to change that. And to be honest, there are data available in different blocks. We just need to collaborate and use that data. The traditional way of using typologies and having multiple false positive, I think we need to relook at that and build up a system which can actually use AI machine learning and flag actual suspicious transactions because the data is available, and that can only happen by collaboration from your public and private sector, as well as from global collaboration as well. So, this is the time that we need to rethink, we need to take a step back. And while we are embarking a journey of having 5 digital banks in a couple of years, we need to see how we can do it differently. And this is the time where we can invest in technology, test that technology, and have a very collaborative relationship across with the regulators, agencies, and even the different banks which have been there for decades. And of course, that data can help us out highlighting the suspicious transaction and combating financial crime.
Yeah, I think that this is the last point that we identified as a very important one, in terms of the brotherly support from the other larger financial institutions to the younger brothers and sisters in the race. And the second bit, obviously, you can, by the way, you can buy East Nest for the digital banks as well. It's not just that, it's only for traditional banks. And the third bit that you have pointed out is also very important, is the amount of money that you need to make sure that you have available in terms of making all these investments, not just in technology, but also the software bits of customer education and the wider pieces of ecosystem collaboration. Because in this case, in the case of digital banks, I believe it's not just the education of the banks themselves, but also the education of the people who are collaborating with the banks, or the people who the banks are going to collaborate with, which are the wider digital ecosystem players. They will also need to know how to do banking and how to actually do all this. So I think this is a very complex equation that you're going to strike. I'm sure you would be able to strike that equation very